evening, everybody. I'm Howard Balson along with Kenny Stern, and tonight the Chicago Sting resumes the soccer wars in the chase for the championship after a 2.5-week layoff made possible, or shall we say engendered, by the participation of NASL athletes on the U.S. Olympic team. But right now it's the Sting and Golden Bay resuming play, with Chicago leading the Eastern Division and Golden Bay bringing up the rear in the Western Division, but still in the chase because they played a couple of less games. But it's going to be a big one tonight, Kenny, because two of the great scorers in all of soccer are in the ball game tonight. Steve Jungle, 15 goals. He's going at a rate of better to goal a game. And, of course, down in the number 4 spot, Karl-Heinz Granitza, and he's ready for history.
Karl with 9 goals and 9 assists, getting ready to hit double figures in both of those categories, but more importantly, getting ready to hit triple figures career-wise. Karl needs only 2 assists to become the first player in the history of the North American Soccer League to have both 100 assists to go with 100 goals.
And when he gets it, they are going to stop the game to give him the ball. The Sting leading the Eastern Division 9-7 with 81 points. They've played 16 games. New York trails the Sting, but has only played 14 games, so they've got 2 games in hand. Golden Bay trailing the Western Division, Kenny, at 4-10, but they've only played 14 games. A couple of big wins for Golden Bay put them right back in the hunt.
And one way to turn that around very, very quick is to win a game away from home, a difficult way as they have tonight. I'm sure Golden Bay is going to be out to play a hard game.
The Chicago Sting has 2 wins and no losses against Golden Bay this year, Kenny, but both wins have been tough. And we are going to be back right after these words.
Chicago and Golden Bay, and taking a look at the Golden Bay goalkeeper, it's Bob Rigby, 2.22 goals against average and a 4-9 record. Rigby victimized for 4 goals a couple of weeks past when the Chicago Sting beat Golden Bay here by that 4-2 score. In goal for Chicago, Ed Gettemeyer. Steady Eddie, they're starting to call, 1.33 goals against average. Eddie, a little bit of luck on his side, but also some strong goalkeeping. The important fact is that Ed Gettemeyer is 3-0 in the nets for the Sting, and you certainly can't do any better than a goalkeeper that wins all the time.
Mr. T kicked out the first ball, Kenny. Once again, Lawrence Terrell blowing up the ball when he kicked it with that immense power. There's the referee, Vince Morrow, going out there. And let's take a look at the starting lineup.
And a very good referee in Vince Morrow, one of the better in the North American Soccer League. Bill Irwin in the goal. As we mentioned, the defense, Fernando Clavillo, George Katakalitis, Michal Carey, and Barney Boyce. In midfield, Mike Sweeney, Edgardo Lopez starting his first game of the season, and Charlie Ficus, of course, the ex-Sting midfielder. Up front, Branco Zagota with 5 goals, Ricardo Alonso with 4 goals, and Steve Jungle with 15. Chicago, Ed Gettemeyer in goal. A defense of Cadelia, Houston, Rudy Glenn, and Hayden Knight. The midfield, Mark Simonton, Pat McGauley, and Manny Rojas. And up front for Chicago, Sanino, Karl-Heinz Granitza, and Pato Marhetic.
And as we said, Vince Morrow, the referee. All right, here's the Sanino moving up the near side. Sting on the attack, moving up to right, back to Sanino, coming in on Bill Irwin, but the ball just a little bit too long.
Sanino, great run along the near side. He put the ball through to Granitza. Granitza had a difficult pass, but if he could have returned it one touch to Sanino, Sanino could have broken on goal. The defenders for Golden Bay stopped chasing Sanino right as he let go of that original pass.
All right, Fernando Clavillo on the far side, very, very quick. Back to the Yugoslavian veteran Michal Carey. Brings into the circle to Mike Sweeney. Sweeney played on the Canadian Olympic team until they were eliminated. The ball's driven forward to Jungle. Jungle's got back to Zagota. Zagota tries to go to Jungle, intercepted. However, Victor Cadelia, his job will be to take Jungle on all night long, and it's a tough one. Jungle, 15 goals, 7 assists. Pato Marhetic, the Magic Man.
And he will be matched up against Clavillo for much of the night.
Puts it through the circle to Victor Cadelia, brings it to Sanino. 1-on-1 with Katakalitis. Give and go, Sanino gets it back. Still has Katakalitis around his back, goes to Karl-Heinz Granitza. Boyce chasing, Boyce dumps Granitza, top of the circle, a bad one. Karl goes down and a foul called by referee Vince Morrow.
Karl holding on to his left ankle, a little bit shaken up. A very late tackle on the part of Barney Boyce. And we'll be able to take a look on the replay. You'll be able to see for yourself that Granitza had released that pass long before Boyce took out the legs of Karl-Heinz Granitza. And the referee making the call. I think this angle you can see it a little better. And you can see actually Boyce getting his feet in between the legs of Karl. As you can see, Karl not seriously hurt.
Granitza tries to go forward. They called Marhetic offside on the near side. No matter, though, as the ball was kicked out by Golden Bay. Taken by Sweeney. Sweeney midway into his own zone. Left puts it forward. And he's got Jungle off to the far side of Clavijo. Clavijo over the midfield stripe. Brings it to Alonso. Ricky Alonso. Back to Sweeney. Looks for somebody on the near side. Nobody there. Sweeney's still controlling. Pato's on him. He brings it forward. He's got Alonso. They're letting the Golden Bay penetrate. Alonso now tries to give him a goal. Knocked away. Ricky gets it back. Taps it back to Sweeney. Ficus is standing on the 35-yard line waiting for that ball. Sweeney looks for Ficus. Decides to go back to Clavijo instead. To Carey. Carey in the midfield, driving it forward over everyone's head. Davey Huson heads it forward, intercepted by Ficus. Goes to Jungle. Jungle goes forward. They got Ficus breaking, but Cadelia covers up, and Eddie Gettemeyer comes up with the ball.
Golden Bay very close as Ficus making the run through the middle. Had the inside position on Cadelia. If he'd been able to control that ball, he would have walked in against Gettemeyer. They
play two 45-minute running time halves. Only the referee controls the stoppage of the clock. Pat McGauley, rookie from Indiana University, goes to Knight. Back to McGauley, but he wasn't there. Fortunately, Manny Rojas was. Always there when you need him. Pass upfield, and again the linesman on the near side called offside. Again, there was no call by the referee.
And again, he was calling a man offside that wasn't anywhere near the play. And that only confuses the referee, who, of course, has the only whistle.
We'll talk about offside in a moment when we have a chance. As Granitza takes it over the midfield to Hayden Knight. Knight at the 35-yard line of Golden Bay. Back to Marhetic. Comes forward to Symington. It's intercepted. It's a long cross-field pass. Nothing on it. Finally, Jingle, Steve Jungle, Lord of all indoor, they call him in the indoor field. And he's not too bad outdoor either. The league's leading scorer. He goes to Sweeney near side of the circle.
3.5 minutes gone in this game. A good time to point out that the key to this match is going to be Golden Bay's ability to cut off the service by Rojas. When they played 2 weeks ago, Rojas, the ex-Earthquake, was able to run free, and he was far and away, as he was for all 3 games he's played in the Sting uniform, he was the best player on the field. For some reason, he can never get recognized in the final voting at the end of the game, but he has been the best player on the field for the Chicago Sting. Golden Bay's not going to be able to allow him to run free.
I think because he isn't out there hammering away at the goal, or, he just does his job so well. He's always in the right spot at the right time. He makes things happen. I don't think some of these people who do the voting even see the guy. And then, Gettemeyer just took an elbow from Ricky Alonso. I think it was accidental, but nevertheless, that didn't make it hurt any less.
Another point to make about Rojas is that he's one of those players that is so smart and able to move off the ball so well that he will make every player on the field, all his teammates, look 10 to 20% better just to be around him.
Pass Rojas, picked up by Catacolata, brings it now to Cedinho, is crossed over to the far side. Cedinho on the run. To Marhetic. Boyce is on him. Boyce knocks it away. Loose ball. Finally, it's cleared out of there by Golden Bay. And Cadelia is going to let it roll to Eddie Gettemeyer. Clock shows just over 40 minutes to go in the first half. Sting in black jerseys, yellow shorts and hose, white numerals and trim, moving left to right on your screen. Golden Bay in all white uniforms, red and blue numerals and trim. And now Cadelia to Manny Rojas. Ficus picks him up. Now Jungle picks him up. Rojas goes through, but he's knocked away. Back to Jungle. One touches. He's got Edgardo Lopez into the circle. Catacolitas on the near side. Rojas on him. Back to Charlie Ficus. Granitza picks him up. Barney Boyce to Jungle. Jungle along the Sting 35-yard line. He lays it forward. Franco Segota, check that Clavijo, back to Jungle. To Segota, back to Jungle, knocked away by Davey Huson. Cleared over to Rojas. Sting will be on the road this coming Sunday evening. They'll be in Vancouver. As Granitza gives a long ball to Cedinho too far. That game won't be on television. You can hear it live on WIND radio at 9:30 Chicago time this coming Sunday. And then the Sting moves on to Tulsa. And Kenny, that will be right here on Sports Vision on Thursday, the 16th of August. And that's going to be a barn burner down there. It's going to be 120 degrees, and that AstroTurf field will heat up another 20. And that's always really a battle, the Sting in Tulsa. Hayden Knight has it swiped away by Clavijo. So quick. Golden Bay coming out of the zone. Sweeney and Carey almost mix up their signals. Now Clavijo to Barney Boyce. Mike Sweeney. Catacolitas making a run up the near side. Sweeney was a little slow in getting to him, though. But by the time he gets it, Cedinho is on him. No score. 38-23 to go in the half.
Both teams seem to be having some trouble with the conditions. as they're fighting the ball. The ball doesn't seem to be rolling as well. Been a lot of rain on and off in Chicago over the last couple days, and they did play a preliminary game before this one.
Here they come. Knocked away. Symington goes for the slide tackle. And Aiden Knight gets a foot in there to drive it back to Gettemar. You're getting a feeling, Kenny, there's just no smooth flow to anything. It's almost if
but you can see the players are looking up, and they're having trouble taking the ball with them. It looks almost like the ball's out of air, but I think that's actually a result somewhat to the field conditions.
Very heavy air out here. The humidity incredible. Now Granitza coming back to Marhetic. Can't get there. Finally comes back to the goalkeeper, Irwin. Irwin in blue and white. The goalkeeper for the Sting, Eddie Gettemeier, undefeated in 3 attempts. He's in green and black. Ficus brings it now. They've got Golden Bay has the luxury of putting on the bench their Mexican international, Leonardo Cuellar, who's always a favorite here in Chicago.
He has been benched, though. Coach Don Popovich trying to get some life into this club, and you take a look, this is not the same team that has lost 10 games. He's got Lopez playing in his first game of the season. Charlie Ficus and George Katakalitis playing in their second games as Earthquakes, and we will return. Chicago and Golden Bay tied at 0. While we were away, Manny Rojas broke down the left side, uncorked a shot that went wider than near post, so that was the first good opportunity. I was talking before our spot that Lopez playing in his first game, Ficus and Katakalitis playing in their second game as members of the Earthquake, and Barney Boyce and Ricardo Alonso playing in their third game.
Almost a bad mistake on the Sting defense, and a shot was saved by Gettemeier on the far post. Boy, this Sting almost made a mistake
there. This was a nice play, though. Great save by Gettemeier. Lopez hits a very well-taken right-footed shot there, and you could see that ball touched on is what gave Lopez the room as a Sting defender committed to the original pass, but Gettemeier made a great save.
All right, Mihal Carey now in the circle. That's the first really strong scoring opportunity of the ball game. Ball's driven into the box. While we're away for a spot, Sting had almost something going when Granitza fed Rojas moving in from the far side, but his shot went across the goal mouth. Nobody was able to put it in. All right, Cedinho back to Davey Huson. 35-15 to go in the half. No score. Huson up to Granitza. Granitza too far from Magali. Slips on the turf. And here comes Lopez with it. Long lead for Alonso. Alonso puts it to Jungle. Danger here. No, Huson the slide tackle. Knocks that ball away. Now Marhetic, he is stumped by Clavijo.
That was a tremendous tackle by Houston. You never want to let Jungle penetrate into the box. But he took a nice feed from Alonso, and he was already there. Because Jungle, when he gets in close, he likes to take those dives in the penalty box and create those penalty kick situations. But unquestionably, Davey Houston won that ball very cleanly.
Jungle has missed 2 penalty kicks, Kenny, but I think he's taken 7 all in all. I mean, this guy really gets fouled in that box. He has the arc. All right, Lopez again. Brings it out to Alonso. Double team, tries to go inside. Here's Segota. Top of the box again. Oh, a shot knocked away. And Simonson goes to Cedinho. 1-1 with Katakalitis. And Katakalitis drives the ball out of bounds on the near side.
Broadcast rights to this game have been granted to Sports Vision by the Chicago Sting solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the consent of Sports Vision is prohibited.
Cedinho slips and falls down, but the loose ball comes to Magali. One touches to Symington. Right back to Magali. Magali chips it forward. Cadelia on the run. Cadelia holding on the near side. Back to Symington. Back to Cadelia. Cadelia's crossing. Loose ball gets by. Oh, the Sting. Unlucky that time as that ball skipped by Irwin, but nobody there to tuck it in.
Cadelia really bent a nice ball across the middle, tempting Irwin to come out. So the goalkeeper gets caught halfway, but unfortunately none of his teammates anticipated that.
Manny Rojas. There's another cross over everyone's head. Settling on the near side. Katakalitis will run it down, let it go out. It'll be a throw-in for Golden Bay. These clock shows 33-13. Chicago Sting is going to be home on Wednesday, August 22nd to take on the tough Toronto Blizzard and the great Italian world-class player Roberto Bettega. That'll be on Wednesday night the 22nd right here at Comiskey Park. Alonso. And let's see what we have. Looks like a handball call that was asked for by Branko Segota and agreed to by the referee.
That was a good call. I believe that ball carrying off the arm of Rudy Glenn. And it's a fortunate break for Chicago because Zagota appeared to be in free, and Alonso certainly gave him a nice feed.
So Bronco Zagota standing over the ball with Mike Sweeney. Zagota's into it. He drives it, knocked away by the wall. Cedinho goes for it, lays it back to the midfield just to take the heat off. Michael Carey is there. Brings it to Sweeney. He's got some room. Drives one toward the goal. Gettemeier headed. Oh, it's headed away. We have an offside call. Linesman on the far side. And I believe that's Guy Fature.
You'll see the ball clipped in. Alonso is the man who is offside. He makes a nice run, though, and actually beats Gettemeier to the ball. His header goes in that. He would come out of the goal right there. When you come out like that, you want to make sure that you can get the ball before the attacker. Otherwise, he's got an open net to touch it into.
Last time these two teams played was July 21st here in Chicago. Sting won that game 4-2, but Ricky Alonso did get a goal for Golden Bay. All right, Manny Rojas beats Lopez, but he can't beat Alonso. Alonso wins the ball back for Ficus. Former Sting teammates. Traded to Golden Bay for Manny Rojas and Hayden Knight. Rudy Glenn steps around Alonso. Glenn goes down. And they're just slipping all over the place here, Kenny. You would think they'd have had a pouring rain the way these guys are slipping on that turf.
And we may get a yellow card right here. Evidently just a verbal caution. Pat McGauley, who was beaten on the dribble, reached down and from the actions of the referee intentionally touched that ball. And now, as I had mentioned, Howard, about 10 minutes ago, they have changed soccer balls. I think that ball they originally played with was dead, and that's one of the problems Chicago was having.
Davey Huson steps in front of a pass for Lopez and drives it out. Remember the Sting home on August the 22nd, Wednesday night, 2 weeks from tonight, take on Toronto and Bettiga. Sting will have 3 more regular season home games after this one. Toronto on the 22nd, Vancouver at Wrigley Field on Labor Day, and they'll finish up here at Comiskey Park on Saturday night, the 15th of September against the Cosmos, in a game originally scheduled for August 4th, changed to the 15th. Here comes Cedinho. Top of the arc, goes to Gunitza. Cedinho slips as he goes back. Boy, I tell you, it's like they're skating on glass. Run off the ball. Jungle gets it, taken away from him by McGauley. He loses it in turn, and here comes Golden Bay's Lopez. Lopez tries to go to Alonso, slips and falls, gets it back to Lopez. Lopez 4-on-1. Houston knocks it away, but Jungle's there. Jungle puts it up to Zagota, but Gettemeier's there. Gettemeier slips and falls down.
Golden Bay appears to be fairly effective attacking without the numbers there, and you see it 1 against 4, 2 against 3, and yet they seem dangerous.
Looks like our defender's a bit tentative, Kenny. Maybe the bad footing is making him somewhat hesitant going back.
That is somewhat true, and of course the fact that Golden Bay's talent is all stacked to their front line.
Here comes Charlie Ficus. He lays it out. Here's Zagota, knocked away by Husa. Back Zagota comes to Sweeney, a little bit far. Marhetta going for it. And Sweeney tries to cover up. He touches it with his hand.
They call a dangerous play against Sweeney. His face is right in front of that ball. And the referee calls a foul against him. That's actually for Sweeney's own protection.
One of the few sports, Kenny, where they'll call a foul against the team if they put themselves in danger. Gunitza, he is hammered by Carey. Collision in the midfield between McGauley and Jungle. Jungle comes out with it. Here they come. Lopez to Alonso, and Davey Huson wins it. Alonso gets a foot out from a prone position and gets it. And now we have a holding call, if you will, on Rudy Glenn at the Sting 35-yard line. Ricky Alonso down. And we're going to be back. We're going to be back with no score. We'll be back after these words. 28:30 to go in a scoreless first half. Simonton on the far side of the midfield. Sting moving left to right. Sting with a record of 9-7, leading the Eastern Division. Golden Bay 4-10. But the leading scoring team in the North American Soccer League. Very dangerous ball club. They've lost 3 in a row. Makes them even more dangerous. Pato Marhedic at the 35-yard line. He's got Clavijo to beat. These guys match up every time they play. And it seesaws back and forth as to who has dominance. As Simonton gives it to Cedinho. Crowd gets excited when Cedinho touches it. He goes to Rojas, kicked away by Sweeney. And Alonso hits it to nobody. Rudy Glenn there to Cadelia. Tries to lay it out to Marhedic. However, Clavijo trailing Marhedic. He just seems to know exactly where that ball's going to go. Steps in front.
Golden Bay bringing a lot of players back defending, and Chicago having a lot of trouble penetrating. The Sting's going to have to move the ball quicker when they are on the attack. It seems when they are slowing the ball down on the Golden Bay side of the field that they are struggling from there on.
You're right, Kenny. When the Sting breaks out quickly, they seem to get somewhere. There's a long drive to Jungle. He's in the box. Danger! Great save by Gettemeyer! A tremendous save! I imagine Jungle doesn't get stuffed on a shot like that once in 20 times.
Tremendous save. Great ball control on the part of Jungle as he was able to pull that ball down. And then Gettemeyer making the save. Manny Rojas, the smallest player on the field, had Jungle marked, gave him a half a step, and unfortunately could not get up there to control it. But Jungle, really tremendous control to pull it down goalward.
A shot and a score. The Golden Bay Earthquake have scored. Bronco Segota off the corner kick. And the Earthquake lead the Sting 1-0. A beautiful shot by Segota on a low corner kick from the near side.
Well taken corner kick, I believe, by Lopez. Segota will just touch it onto the far side of the net. And you can see right there the problem. Segota marked very, very tightly by Knight. But unfortunately, Segota beat Knight to the ball and was able to touch it into the goal.
Disappointing thing there is after Gettemeyer makes a near impossible save, bingo, right on the ensuing corner kick, Golden Bay gets the goal. So, as they were here back on July 21st, the Earthquakes take a 1-0 lead.
One thing for certain, Chicago is physically and mentally flat right now. One thing evident there was the fact that Rojas got caught on the play before, marking Jungle. That is a matchup Willie Roy does not like.
Well, Kenny, you and I have talked about it over the course of several years. For some strange reason, even though the Sting is practiced, they have played exhibition games, for some strange reason, when there is a week or two layoff from the NASL games, the Sting always comes out flat, and no one knows why.
That's true. Unfortunately, the early goal may wake him up, as it has in the past.
Benitza went on one with Barney Boyce. Symington almost falls down. Mark fighting, but he put that ball too far in front of him. Now Sunino.
If you give up that goal later on in the game, though, you could be in a lot of trouble.
25-24 to go in the first half. 1-0 Segota. Segota got the goal against the Sting in that first game, too. Headed away by Clavijo. Taken back by Knight. Remember the twin Jets on the bench, Comrie and Meshbach. And Rojas falls down again. Lopez with it. There he goes to Sweeney. Sweeney to Jungle. And Houston almost climbs up Bronco Segota's back, and Segota looks at Morrow and says, what about it? And I think Segota's got a point.
Davey Houston, on the other end, felt he had the right to the ball. Segota miscontrolled the ball the first time, and Davey Houston saw it and went at it. Segota, very strong, was able to shield him off, but he is limping now.
Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Sting at their own 35. Cadelia goes forward to Sunino. Sunino, Cadelia, and Magali. Pat Magali off to Hayden Knight. Rudy Glenn with it now.
Yeah, move it open up there, Carl!
Now Cadelia goes forward to Rojas, to Sunino. Sunino brings to Granitza. Granitza is put down right at the top of the box. And the ball is hammered by Golden Bay off to the side.
I think Carl lost control there and took a dive.
All right, comes back to Cadelia. Clock shows 23:46. You may have heard Willie Roy, Sting coach, screaming, move up, move up. Cadelia now to Rojas, is cut off at the pass, but knocked out of bounds by Sweeney.
This Friday night on Sports Vision, Pennant Chase will be at 7 o'clock. And immediately following Pennant Chase, the White Sox will take on the Milwaukee Brewers live from Comiskey Park.
Sox won today. California and Minnesota both lost. White Sox only a game and a half out of first. Cubs a big winner today. They've increased their lead. Granitza with it. And knocked away from him. Glenn stops it in the circle.
Boy, that looks like the Kennedy Expressway today. The traffic jam occurring at the back there.
Granitza again. But knocked away Magali. He can't control it. Back it comes Irwin. Kenny, once again, the Sting finds themselves going right up the middle all the time to Granitza. They seem to be always more effective playing it off the wings, but they seem to black out on it sometimes.
Well, if Granitza can work the 1-2 with who's ever playing it to him, it's a chance for Chicago. It's very difficult no matter how you attack right now, though, Howard, because of the fact that Golden Bay is playing with all their players in the back, protecting the 1-goal lead, although we still have what, about 70 minutes remaining in this game.
Well, they started out the second half in the last game that way when they were winning 2-1, and it was just a lucky break for Chicago to tie it, forcing Golden Bay out. Right now, Golden Bay has no reason to go out. Sting with the throw-in, their side of the midfield on the near side. Sting home again on the 22nd of August. Don't forget those Chicago Sting summer soccer camps. Week-long, daytime, inexpensive camps for your boys and girls aged 6 to 16. The final 2 camps of the year will be held in Northbrook and in Lamont, Illinois, starting next Monday. Why don't you call Frank Crocker at the Sting office, 558-KICK, 558-KICK. He'll tell you all about those camps. Pat McGauley, and he's put down by Sweeney, and Morrow finally blows the whistle, and a free kick for the Sting on the near corner of the box.
Pat McGauley playing a little bit smart. What you're seeing is Granitza fronted with the defender, I believe, Carey in front of him, and one marking him from behind. So Pat McGauley has then put himself in front of the defender, and he showed himself very nicely right there. Golden Bay had the foul. This will be an indirect free kick for Chicago, meaning that McGauley was obstructed, and if 2 players must touch it before it goes into the net.
That's the kicker and one other player.
I don't think Carroll's aware of this.
Granitza fires, rejected by the wall. Houston to Hayden Knight. Knight crosses to Glenn, and that ball just dies on the.
You got to look out for Golden Bay counterattacking.
Here they come. That ball is just dying on the grass. Sting has got to put a little more oomph into those passes. They come forward. Houston defending on Lopez. Drops it back. Here comes the Golden Bay left-footed cross for Alonso, and Gettemeyer makes the stop. And Alonso creams him, and the ball is knocked out of Gettemeyer's hands.
Both players are shaken up. Gettemeyer and Alonso. Eddie Gettemeyer really made a courageous play right there, and he certainly saved the goal. Had he not come out, Ricardo Alonso certainly would have stuffed this one away. Good pass on the part of Boyce. And Alonso was left onside, too close to the goal. Eddie Gettemeyer, as I said, a very courageous play on his part. Both players are shaken up. Alonso with the leg, and Eddie appears to have had the wind knocked out of him.
Golden Bay's leading it by a score of 1-0, and we're going to be back after these words. They're still working on Alonso and Eddie Gettemeyer. Sting trainer Jerry Carter appears to be working on Gettemeyer's left ankle, and it's the right ankle problem for Golden Bay.
The strange thing here is these are perhaps the 2 best players midway through the first half. Eddie Gettemeyer has allowed 1 ball in the net he had no chance on, and if he was not very, very sharp, he could have allowed 2 or 3 more goals tonight. Certainly Golden Bay has had the chances. Alonso's been moving very well off the ball. I haven't seen him move this well in a long time. And he is shaken up. Incidentally, Chicago has dressed their other goalkeeper tonight, Victor Nogueira, which may be a break for the Sting, because usually teams do not dress 2 goalkeepers. Many coaches would rather have that extra flexibility with the field player.
For part of our halftime, we had an opportunity to interview Sting owner Lee Stern prior to the start of the game. Lee's got some interesting words on the possible coming together of the Sting and the MISL. Willie Roy, the head coach of the Sting, looking very intent. His goalkeeper trying to shake it off. And Lee also has a few choice words about the Olympics.
I'm very surprised at the top of that picture right there, Victor Nogueira sitting on the bench. And you would expect he would be up loosening up and getting ready in case he may have to come into the game.
Battle on the corner kick. And finally it's cleared out of there by Granitza. No one else seemed capable of doing it. Taken back by Mahel Carey. He's driving it forward again, looking for Jungle. Jungle's there with Ficus. Charlie's got it near corner. Charlie's crossing over Alonso's head, but Segota has it. Not too bad. Oh, dangerous there. Houston couldn't control it. They're having a nightmare in the back. Golden Bay is owning the Sting defensive zone, doing just about anything they want. There's another drive, looking for Jungle again. He's got it. He lays it out. Here comes Sweeney. A shot grabbed by Gettemeyer. I'll tell you, the Sting defense is standing around ball watching.
They're standing around ball watching, and they're all getting beat individually. Golden Bay is running the Sting off the field at this point, and Chicago fortunately only trails by 1 goal. But that is what is happening, is the players first are getting beaten individually, the balls are getting crossed, and Golden Bay is reacting much better than the Sting players in the back. You certainly cannot fault the goalkeeper. Many times it is the goalkeeper that does not chase the people out and get the people alert, but Eddie Gettemeyer appears to be doing that well tonight.
Well, you never know by looking at this game so far which team had the 9 wins and which team had the 4 wins. Here comes Katakalitis. Kedalia's on him. Back to Boyce. Off on the far side. He's got Lopez. Into the attack zone. There's a drive. Huson heads it away. And here's Rojas. He's shouldered off the ball by Charlie Ficus. Golden Bay gets it back. But Magali comes to Gunitsa. Marhetic to Rojas. Rojas 1-on-1 with Barney Boyce. Rojas is inside. Crossing. He's got a man open. Symington's shot is rejected by Jungle, and Segota chases it down.
It's good to see Manny Rojas getting in the attack for Chicago. He made a beautiful play there, out-dribbling 3 guys and then laying the ball back against the pressure. But Mark Symington unable to run onto that ball.
They go once again to Alonso. Rudy Glenn is on Alonso. Back he comes to Sweeney. Sweeney working with Ficus along the 35-yard line. Charlie looks for Jungle. And now Jungle on the far side. Here comes Covijo on the run. Taps it off to the far sideline. On the end, the dirt in center field. Gunitsa's there. Here comes Karl Heinz. Drops it to Symington. Symington moving upfield. He's got a little room. Gives it to Marhetic. But Covijo is just breathing right down Marhetic's neck. Go back to Symington. 1-on-1 with Carey. To Marhetic, and he overruns the ball. At least it looked that way, perhaps from our angle, but it may have been the pass behind him. And now Segota's ruled offsides. And a chance to talk for a moment about offsides. Over the midfield stripe, an attacking player must have 2 of the opposition between himself at the goal at the time the ball is passed. So if a guy is out there and there's only he and the goalkeeper and the ball is passed to him, then he's offside. Got to be 2 guys. Goalkeeper and somebody else usually. Here comes Rojas. 18:06 to go in a very listless first half of the Chicago Sting. They trail by 1. Hayden Knight. Back to Symington. Back to Knight. Knight in the box. He's trying to cross. Ends up with Irwin.
Good run on the part of Hayden Knight. The one thing you don't want to see is as soon as the ball was lost, everybody quit moving for Chicago, and the goalkeeper was able to come out, pick it up. That's when you want to put pressure right there and force Golden Bay into a passing mistake.
We're getting a foul on Huson as Segota goes down again. That's the matchup out there, Segota and Huson. All right, Golden Bay coming right to left over the midfield comes Sweeney. 17:25 to go in the half, 1-0. On a goal by Bronco Segota off a corner kick. He just flicked it into the net, crossing in front of the goal mouth. Mihal Carey. Little breeze starting to blow here. Comiskey Park trying to cool things up a little bit. Here's Jungle. Jungle moving. He goes inside. And we're going to get a foul called. It's going to go the other way, though. Lopez. Oh, he's offsides. No foul. Offside. And you say, well, he was even with the man. Well, you can't be even with him. You got to have 2 men in front of you. Oh! As Marhetic almost takes a kick on the side from Covijo. Foul called. Rojas with it. Rojas to Magali. Magali's tripped up and goes down. Charlie Ficus helps Magali up. Both alums of Indiana University. And now Hayden Knight brings it in for the Sting. Lopez on him. Knight fires. And a nice save. Knight tried to sneak one out from 22 yards. Almost worked. 16:27 to go in the half. 1-0.
Sometimes you can get away with that, especially in a situation like this. The goalkeeper, Billy Irwin's been relatively inactive here in the first half, and you uncork a good one from the long distance, and you might catch him asleep.
All right, Earthquake's on the attack. Ficus on the far side. Goes to Alonso. Rudy Glenn on Ricky. The ball knocked out of bounds off of Ricky. It'll be a throw-in for the Sting at their own 35. Hayden Knight will take it. Sting in Vancouver Sunday. In Tulsa on the 16th, and then back here on the 22nd. Here comes the Sting on the attack. Inside Magali, and his cross. Marhetic couldn't quite catch up to it. Pat Magali, a brilliant run.
That was just an outstanding run on Magali's part. He grabbed the ball at midfield and saw the space, and he ran hard from there on in. It's unfortunate that none of his teammates had run as hard as he did, because he laid the ball right across the middle.
All right, Irwin puts it in play. Hayden Knight is there. We have just over 15 minutes to go in the half. 1-0. Singh looked dangerous on a couple of occasions with passes over the goal mouth, but no, really haven't forced Irwin to do much. Got Huson. Jungle's on him. To Granitza. Leads it for Mahedek. Runs into Jungle. Gets all rid of it to Samington. Back to Pato. To 1 and 2. Pato's inside. And loose ball grabbed by Irwin. Pato got inside of Clavijo, but he just couldn't quite get down on the shot. Nice pass by Rojas, though. Manny Rojas really put him in play. And now Davey Huson. We're getting closer, Kenny.
Certainly right there. Good combination between Rojas and Mahedek. And just when you think Chicago's attacking a little bit too much down the middle, they almost put the combination together to tie up the game.
God getting back into the game a little bit as this thing shows some signs of life. Samington for Knight. Kicked away from Knight. It'll be a throw-in Sting midway into the attack zone. To Rojas. Nice trap by Manny on the far side of the box. Cross inside again. Tries to cross out in front.
There.
No, it got by Granitza and is taken by Katakalidis on the near side. We come so close.
Just a question of making an effort.
Katakalidis with it. Sanino bothers him. He goes to Pikus. Back to Katakalidis.
Sanino, who's been the outstanding player for the Sting the last 2 games, has been totally unheard of.
Rojas with the steal for the Sting. To Granitza. Sanino on the near side. Pato on the far side. Granitza moving up the slot, and it's kicked away. Back to the goalkeeper. Good defensive play by Sweeney.
There was a case where after Carl got the ball from Rojas, it appeared nobody really wanted the ball. Nobody showing himself. Everybody drifting goalward, but very easy for Golden Bay to defense.
Mr. T, star of the A-team, star of Rocky, and star of anything he wants to be. I'm certainly not going to stop. He kicked out the first ball again tonight. Second time he's been out here. Must like this grand old American game. Here is Rojas. To Huson. Back to Rojas. Puts him in trouble. But Manny gets out of it. Magali took a pretty good kick in the heel from Ficus as the ball went out. Apparently nobody saw it. Van Duviert, the linesman on the near side. Frontier on the far side. The referee, Vince Morrow. The time, 12:40. Director tonight, Harlan Singer. Snarlin Harlan Singer. Harlan claims he's a very good luck charm for this thing. Well, we'll wait and see how that works out.
I think Vince Morrow is the Mr. T referee. Mr. T's been here for 2 games this season. He was here against Wrigley Field, actually, earlier this season to kick out the opening ball and entertain the people a little bit. In that game as well, the referee was Vince Morrow.
All right, Granitza lays it out. It's a long one from Mahedek, knocked away from him. Mike Sweeney is there. Sweeney's played a pretty active game tonight, Kenny. He's been Johnny on the spot throughout most of the first half.
He's done a good job, too, of marking Rojas, although Rojas has been dangerous on a few occasions. I'm sure Don Popovich told Sanino that Rojas will be his responsibility tonight.
All right, a steal. Huson with it. Huson goes to Sanino. Tries to get by Sweeney. Here comes Sanino. Tries to go to Huson. Sanino goes down. He slips in the box, and once again we have the feet go out from under. Knight driving it back to the goalkeeper.
Golden Bay wants that ruling that he passed it from over 35 yards, but he was under pressure by Alonso, so therefore he is allowed to do so.
Now Magali to Mahedek. Mahedek has no place to go.
But then again, I point out it's a very bad sign for the Chicago Sting. Nobody seems to want that ball. Even Granitza is not coming forward and demanding the ball like he usually does.
Now Segota, he's got the only goal of the game so far to Jungle. Jungle has it knocked away by Huson. Rudy Glenn brings it tonight. We have just over 11 minutes to go in the half.
Pato Mahedek has not had a good first half, but Pato is the one out there running around and trying to take it upon himself to get the Chicago Sting going. And that's a good sign. Maybe Pato will come alive in the second half.
Alonso on the steal. Alonso lays it out. He's got Sweeney. A shot. Grab by Gittemar.
Our next soccer game on Sports Vision will be Thursday, August 16th, when the Sting take on the Tulsa Roughnecks at Skelly Stadium. Game time is 8 o'clock. Be here on Sports Vision.
All right, Sting back on the attack with 8:30 to go in the first half. Manny Rojas walking it up the near side. Lays it out. Mahedek, a long run. Clavijo gets there first, though. Brings it back to Ficus. Works over the 35. You heard Coach Willie Roy saying, kick him up, let's go. Well, Ficus didn't get picked up. He got knocked down. Maybe Huson. No, it wasn't Huson. We'll pick it up in a second. Ross goes forward, but nobody, Symington didn't expect the pass.
Pat McGauley and Charlie Ficus knocked shins in the midfield, and it appears Pat McGauley's taking the worst of it, as he is getting up and appears to be somewhat shaken up.
Steal by McGauley again. He's had a good first half. McGauley in the attack zone to Marhetic. Pato looking for an open man.
Total lack of support there. Rojas trying to help.
Big old pass, Granitza. Rudy Glenn gets the loose ball back to 35. He goes to Cadelia. Cadelia on the dirt to Rojas. 9:30 to go in the half. Again, Pato has his feet knocked out from under him. Glenn gets it back. Here comes Rudy. Rudy goes to Granitza. He's inside. Granitza tries to chip it over, but it goes over the bar. At least we came close.
That ball was deflected by one of the Golden Bay defenders, Carey, who's furious that Granitza was not called for pushing. Chicago will get a corner kick. That's how Golden Bay scored. Let's see how the Sting works it.
Zunino.
There's the replay right there as Granitza beat Boyce, and then Carey came in to get the foot in there and save the day.
All right, Cedinho with the corner kick. There it is. It's bending in the air. They go. Rojas header misses wide. Littlest guy out there, Manny Rojas, was the only guy who could get his head on the ball, and he just missed wide on the short side. It'll be a goal kick. But the Sting is starting to look a little bit more lively. They seem to have, at least for the most part, shaken off the lethargy that plagued them through most of the first half. They're trailing 1-0 with less than 9 minutes to go in the half, but they're starting to make a game of it. Huson pushes it up to Rojas. Cadelia makes a run up the near side. Rojas goes instead over to Hayden Knight.
Well, you look back there, though, and you see nobody within 25 yards of Manny Rojas.
Knight has his feet knocked out from under him. Referee says play on. Symington on the far side, and he's fouled by Lopez. Symington gets bumped, gets the foul.
And Zgoda may be getting caution here.
No,
just a verbal caution, but he could have seen the yellow card right there. The referee didn't want to punish Chicago by calling the original foul, so he let the advantage for the Sting there, the play to continue.
There's the free kick headed away by Clavijo. Glenn is there. Glenn brings it back. Glenn fires and misses wide. Sting coach Willie Roy. He's planning out what he's going to say to his stalwarts at halftime. 8 minutes to go in the first half. 1-0 Golden Bay. We still have a long way to go. 45 minutes left in the second half. Remember, at halftime, we'll have highlights and a pre-taped interview with Sting owner Lee Stern, talking about indoor and talking about the Olympic neglect of soccer. And for you soccer fans who were felt totally cheated by lack of coverage, Mr. Stern has some words to say about that. Sweeney's cross deflected by Cadelia. And here comes McGauley. To Rojas. He's got Knight on the far side. He goes inside of Granitza. Granitza sees Knight coming. Here comes Hayden. Oh, he tried. And what do they call?
There's a foul and a yellow card will be given to Lopez.
Yes, he will. Knight is down.
I'm sure Hayden's okay. He saw Lopez sliding, and he actually got turned as he tried to jump over Lopez. There you can see it. Lopez just getting in the way. I don't really know that warranted a yellow card.
I don't either,
Golden Bay's just made so many fouls here in the first half, not really playing the ball, that the referee has finally pulled the card out.
Well, they're technically in Granitza range, although he doesn't like that particular angle. 10 yards beyond the far corner of the box. Popovich shouting instructions from the bench. There's a drive toward the goal, and he misses wide on the near side.
Well, Chicago is lost on anything played to the far side.
Nobody's there.
Nobody wants to make the effort. You don't want to start out there, but you'd think that somebody'd be smart enough to start in the middle, peel the run around the back, and then attack from that side.
Yep.
You certainly don't put the defense under any pressure if nobody's there. If somebody's at least there, then the defense must head the ball out of play, and you can start over.
All right, Sweeney now in a little bit of trouble. Golden Bay really tried to nonchalant it out.
That's where they got into trouble 2 weeks ago when they had a 1-goal lead and they gave up a goal in that situation.
Ficus steals it from McGauley. Sweeney gets it back. 6.5 minutes to go in the half. 1-0 Golden Bay. Hope you're enjoying the action right here on Jungle with it. Jungle 1-1 with Huson. Rudy Glenn falls down, but he clears it out. There's Segota, knocked away. Symington avoids a kick by Segota. Referee saw it. He allowed the Sting to maintain their momentum and advantage, however. He saw Segota's leg flash out. Here's Ficus to Alonso, back to Ficus. Typical Alonso give and go, intercepted. And here comes Hayden Knight. Knight over the midfield stripe, tries to go to Cedinho. Cedinho gets it, slips, he's got it again. Cedinho is in. And the ball is kicked away from Cedinho. He is dumped in the box over the sideline. It'll be goal kick.
I don't see how that can't be a corner kick.
Now the linesman...
They are calling a goal kick. The linesman and the referee both calling the goal kick.
No, the linesman is signaling corner kick.
No, the linesman would be...
The referee is signaling corner kick. And now he's reversing it too.
I think they're both signaling. It's, that's a problem with the signals here. Is instead of pointing in the direction the kick's going to be going, they instead are pointing to the spot.
Yeah.
On that occasion, I
think the referee gave the line.
I can't understand a goal kick being given though right there. Cedinho had the break, and it's either a penalty kick or a corner kick. He was taken down, but I thought the player had won the ball. Certainly won the ball clean enough.
All right, Davey Huson. Kicked away by Clavijo. Clavijo thus far is winning the matchup.
There's the trouble. You don't let that ball bounce right there as Rudy Glenn did.
All right, here comes Jungle. We have problems. Danger, danger, danger. He's got Ficus. Charlie fires, and a nice save. Recovered by Gettemeyer. Now over to Hayden Knight, far corner of the box.
All the trouble there started. The high ball, Rudy Glenn let that ball bounce. And once you do that, Alonso is able to win it.
Cedinho has it knocked away, and then he's pushed down. It was won fairly by Mihal Carey. Then he pushed Cedinho. Cedinho's a little bit angry.
I think that was just the momentum, though, of Carey. After he won the ball, he and Cedinho colliding. And Carey putting his arm out to protect him. But I think a fair play on his part.
You are Mr. Nice. You think everybody is nice just because you're nice. All right, here he comes. Barney Boyce, bad pass, intercepted by Davey Huson. Little Davey into the attack zone. Goes to Rojas. 1-1 with Ficus. Rojas out to Cedinho. Cedinho fires, rejected.
Penalty kick.
Penalty kick. A handball is going to be called against Golden Bay, and the Golden Bay Earthquakes is swarming over Morrow.
We'll have to see on the replay. They have a legitimate complaint. It was definitely unintentional as the ball played the player, but the question here is if it does not hit the hand, as it does right there, catacolitis.
They have to call it, Kenny, because he did stop the ball in
I
flight.
believe it was unintentional, but I agree with you, Howard. It does have to be called because this is a direct shot on goal.
Right.
And if it does not hit him in the hand, who's to say it may not be a goalkeeper? Cedinho just toes the ball right up there, and you could see that. No doubt that hit catacolitis on the arm.
And even though it was unintentional, it did change the direction of the ball that was headed toward the net. It must be called. Karl-Heinz Granitza will try. He has only missed one penalty kick all year.
And I was under the impression that Willie Roy had wanted Manny Rojas to take the penalty kicks as of a few weeks ago at least. But Carl went and picked up the ball, and you don't want to change that right now. You can see Rojas in the midfield telling Granitza to go ahead and take the kick.
All right, Granitza, chance for his 10th goal. He has been deadly on penalty kicks. He drives it, and he scores. The Sting is tied it. He's only missed one. That was in Minnesota. Unfortunately, it was a fatal mistake, but nevertheless, the Sting is back in the ball game, and this is going to force Golden Bay to open up an attack.
I believe Rojas has been designated to take the penalty kicks, but quite often players have certain feelings about what type of day they're having, and perhaps Rojas felt he has not played that good, and the pressure, if not playing good in the first half, warranted that he'd rather have Granitza take the kick. Carl took it very, very well. Irwin guessed to the near side, and Carl slid it to the opposite side.
Carl's 10th goal of the year. Sting is tied at 1, and when the Sting scores, Nancy Faust, the Sting official music lady, strikes up. The official theme of the Sting is written by Roman Sawchuk, the lead guitarist for Steve Dowell's Teenage Radiation. Roman, a great Sting fan, has written a magnificent theme. It's exciting to hear it.
Howard, if we get the chance later to look at the penalty, the handball that warranted the penalty, one thing you'll notice is the referee, and he's a good referee, Maura, was in perfect position to make the call. There was no question in his mind that that call had to be made, and no question of what he saw.
All right. To Jungle, he's in again, and he scores. Jungle walked right through the Sting defense and gives Golden Bay a 2-1 lead. With 2.5 minutes to go in the first half, the Sting couldn't stand prosperity. That leaky sieve defense just opened up for Jungle.
You're right there. They could not stand prosperity. Just a perfect give and go with Jungle and Zagoda. And Jungle broke in between Knight and Davey Houston. I think Hayden Knight should have been able to read the game a little bit better, and he got caught too far away from Jungle, although Houston was marking him on that case. That's a very, very good give and go between Jungle and Zagoda. They played together for many years, although this is Zagoda's first year. They were teammates, of course, with the New York Aero Club that won so many championships.
All right, here's Cedinho. Cedinho to the end line. Ball kicked away, and it'll be a throw-in for the Sting. Kenny, in the game played here on July 21st, now the referee is trotting over. He wants to confer with the linesman on that call, I believe, because the referee saw it a different way.
They may have called a foul against Cedinho for obstructing, but now the referee's going to call for a drop ball, I believe.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. He's going to drop the ball, much like a basketball or a hockey face-off. The Sting went into the locker room on July 21st against Golden Bay, trailing 2-1. Again, Zagoda put Golden Bay in the lead. The Sting tied it. Golden Bay came back and went ahead. Now they throw in. Rojas back to Cedinho. There's a high cross in the air. Goes Symington. Heads it back to the far corner, and it's taken by Clavijo. Knight gets a piece of it, but it's taken back. Here comes Lopez. Back over to Clavijo. Here, Golden Bay attacking with a minute and a half to go, leading 2-1. Zagoda holding. He's got a goal and an assist so far.
Jungle's goal coming a minute and 17 seconds after Granitza's goal.
And now Ficus on the far side with Houston on him. Davey gets a piece of it, knocks it away. But nobody's chasing the ball, and Golden Bay comes up with it again. Willie Roy is going to have to really start putting some fuel into some of the lethargy into that defense.
Well, you can see the ball watching at certain times. Moments earlier, Chicago off the corner kick when Cedinho lofted that ball, and Symington made the effort. There was no reason for Hayden Knight to be 25 yards standing by himself, 25 yards away from the Golden Bay player. He cheated and gone a little bit forward. He should have been able to walk in and win that ball.
Cedinho falls, but he's really hustling to try to pick up that pass. 36 seconds to go in the half. Cadelia for the Sting. Broken up by Zagoda. Houston's there. In the air they go. Knight heads it forward, but there's Steve Jungle. The Jungle getting his 16th goal of the year, so he's still going at better than a goal a game pace, since this is their 15th game of the season. Jungle slips. Symington's on him. Back to Clavijo. Symes a slide tackle, knocks it out. It's going to be a throw-in for Golden Bay on the Sting side of the midfield, but that ought to do it for the half.
You saw two different Jungle shots here in the first half. The first time he took his time and Gettemeyer guessed right. That time he didn't give Gettemeyer a chance to settle himself. He shot the ball before Eddie knew he was going to shoot, and before Ed knew what happened, the ball was behind him, and that is the difference thus far in the game.
And there is the whistle ending the first half of play with Chicago trailing the game. You can see even by the short look at the saves that Gettemeyer's been a little bit busier than Irwin.
Eddie making 3 saves, allowing 2 goals, and those 3 saves he made were all of an extremely difficult variety. There's a few of those easier shots that for some reason they didn't want to give Eddie credit for coming up with the saves, because he certainly was busier than that. 10 fouls called against the Golden Bay Club, 7 called against Chicago, 7 shots for the Earthquakes and 5 shots for the Sting. As we come back into the second half there, Sting coach Willie Roy there, a little bit exasperated by what he saw in the first half, and he has made a substitution. He's pulled Victor Cadelia out of the game, and in his place put in the spark plug for Chicago, Elvis Comrie.
First man off the bench, the super sub, Elvis Comrie, who came off the bench to beat Golden Bay here a couple of weeks ago in our last home game.
I hope Pat McGauley can play the final 45 minutes like he did in the first half. That was Pat's finest 45 minutes as a professional. Made some very, very nice runs, but appeared to slow down near the end of the half. And in the past games, Pat has had trouble going past the 60 or 70 minute mark, but if he has to come out, they got Robert Meschbach on the bench, and I'm sure we'll see Bobby at some point in the second half.
Yes, the Sting does have another burner. Bobby Meschbach, Indiana University, played with Fort Lauderdale, transferred up to Minnesota, came to the Sting in a trade for Johnny McGrain. 2-1, Golden Bay leads it.
You know, you talk about, as we talked about it before we went away there, Marhetic drawing 5 fouls and 5 penalty kicks for Granitza. Granitza converting, Marhetic not getting any assist or any credit for any of those. Sinino doesn't get credit there. Rojas also made a very, very fine pass right there to Sinino before the handball occurred, and Rojas doesn't get credit. I think that's somewhat of a flaw that maybe one day should be changed, where they can perhaps give the guy that drew the foul the assist.
Elvis Comrie, the super sub, number 20, will be kind of active. Golden Bay owns the ball on the kickoff, moving left to right in this half. Katakalitis pass broken up by Comrie, but he can't get to it. Couldn't get his own deflection. And Barney Boyce comes back to the goalkeeper. Bill Irwin. 2-1, Golden Bay leads.
We're told Victor Cadelia has come out lame there with some sort of hamstring injury, and that is a very bad sign.
Absolutely. Cadelia, the steadiest of the Sting defenders. Very smart, very cool under pressure in this stretch drive to the playoffs. You can't afford to lose a guy like that. There's a throw into Rojas. Rojas goes down. He slipped. There was no foul there. Rojas went down as the Sting got dangerous right away on the throw-in. Here comes Segota. Segota with speed lays it out to Alonzo. 1-1 with Rudy Glenn. Ricky to the near side. Drives it back to Jungle. Go-ahead goal for Jungle. His 16th of the year. Now Barney Boyce. Off to the far side, he's got Sweeney. Moves in on Granitza. Sweeney's cross headed away by Simonson. Comrie with the trap. Sweeney trying to sneak up on Comrie, but Knight is there. He just drives it up to nobody. Knight was looking for somebody to come up the middle. Nobody did, and Jungle comes back.
There was a case there where Elvis really should have just touched the ball out of the back. He had 2 players running along the far side, but he instinctively wanted to dribble the ball as soon as he got it before releasing the pass, and he actually put Hayden Knight under a little bit of pressure. Hayden just getting rid of the ball.
Golden Bay on the attack. However, a good move by Sinino coming all the way back to knock that ball away. Earthquake have it right back. Charlie Ficus puts it inside. Glenn stops it, knocked away, bounced off of Jungle's foot out of bounds.
Glenn fouled there by Jungle as they just collided. And Rudy went down, took the dive, and the referee made the call. It would have been Chicago's ball nonetheless. The only difference being is they can play it with the feet in the middle of the park instead of having to throw it in.
Davey Huson with it now. Play 2 minutes of the second half. Sting trailing 2-1. Plenty of time left if they can only penetrate. Comrie goes to Rojas. 1 touches to Symington, leaves it for Comrie. Back to Marhetic. Clavijo faces him. Pato in heavy traffic. Tries to go up front to Granitza. Back to Marhetic. Kicked away. Huson's there. They're just hard to force the middle. They just clog up the middle so much. And there's a shot. Rudy Glenn from the 35-yard line. So if you like to see goal kicks, Rudy was just there to present one for you.
I don't think you're going to score many goals on a keeper like Billy Irwin from that distance.
And that's practically anybody. Sting will be home again on the 22nd. That's 2 weeks from tonight, right here at Comiskey Park, to take on Roberto Benega and the tough Toronto Blizzard. One of the teams the Sting must beat out if they're going to get a playoff position. And that's half price night. Call the Sting office tomorrow, 558-KICK, 558-KICK. Find out how you can get tickets to that game at half price.
I'll tell you something very interesting about that Toronto club. When they and the Sting match up, it is the road team that has survived the last 6 encounters.
That's right, exactly.
Chicago won the last 3 times in Toronto, and Toronto won the last 3 times in Chicago.
Golden Bay continues to control the ball. The Sting defense really not very effective at all. There's a drive to the near side. Knight goes for it. He boots it upfield. Clavijo steps in front of Pato, but there is Rojas right back to Pato. Pato in the attack zone. Oh, he's hammered from behind by Clavijo.
Clean win of the ball is ruled by the referee.
No call.
And that's why, no question, there was contact made, but as long as Clavijo wins the ball and wins it first, then the referee will allow play to continue as he did right there.
Here comes Symington.
And Granitza having words with Barney Boyce. They looked like they were ready to be squared off.
Davey Huson to Comrie, 1-1 with Sweeney. It'll be interesting to see if Sweeney can keep up the pace on Comrie. Sweeney had a tough time on Rojas in the first half, and now Marhetic, he's tripped up by Clavijo. I'll tell you, if he gets over Clavijo,
I'd like to see if Clavijo maybe on the next foul, a yellow card given to Clavijo. That would take a lot of the aggressiveness away from him. Marhetic's got him beat there to the inside, but Granitza's ball did not come. No question about the foul right there. That time Clavillo did not win the ball.
Symington fires and misses by, maybe 10
And
yards.
that tells
off
you there's
the far
something
side.
wrong. All the wrong people shooting for Chicago.
That's right.
We've seen Hayden Knight, Symington, Rudy Glenn, all shooting from long distance. And outside of the penalty kick, we've yet to see Granitza, Marhetic, or Sinino come away with the shots.
Rudy Glenn to Davey Hewson. You're allowed 2 substitutes. Singh has used 1. They brought Comrie in to start the second half. Golden Bay has not yet substituted as Lopez puts it up to Alonso. Back to Lopez. Charlie Ficus with it now. Looks for Boyce. Gets him. And a nice play by Knight to win the ball. It looked like it was going out of bounds. Here's Marhetic. Marhetic is obstructed. Definitely obstructed by Clavillo. Very smart foul because Pato almost had the breakaway again.
This would be an indirect free kick, which is unfortunate for Chicago because this is within Granitza range. Good play by Knight there. Boyce tried to let the ball go out of bounds, and Knight won it back for Chicago.
All right, Granitza coming into the ball. He looks, he's driving into the far post, and nobody is there to head it in. Up in the air went
Chicago
Rudy Glenn
terribly
and
disorganized, Howard, on those free kicks. You need 2 players to stand over the ball, especially on an indirect kick, because when only 1 player stands over the ball, the opposite team knows that there's not going to be a shot coming from that distance.
Exactly right.
And they can play for the cross.
We have an offside call on Golden Bay. The linesman has signaled that the referee is going to call.
I tell you, we had a good angle of that one, and I thought the linesman very premature picking up the flag right there.
He's been doing that all night. Very quick on the flag. Quick flag de Vujavort.
That's what I always call.
Yeah, I know. You always say that. That's why I said it. Here's Rojas. Ross back to Marhetic. Clavillo again on Pato. Goes to Granitza. Granitza turns and he goes down, and the loose ball is taken by Michal Carey. Sting has 3 more home games in the regular season, then hopefully the playoffs. Toronto on the 22nd, and then on Labor Day at Wrigley Field, it'll be the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Hayden Knight getting very, very aggressive, and a retaliation there.
And while they're talking it out, let's break away for these words. Elvis Comrie on the attack for Chicago. Steps around Sweeney. Here comes Comrie. Off to Sinino. Kicked away from him. It goes out. Let's see how they call it. Throw in Sting. 37.5 minutes to go in the game. Sting trailing 2-1. Pat McGauley on the far side. To Davey Hewson. They're back into the attack zone comes little Davey.
He's got Knight on the far side all alone.
And they go to him. Knight with Granitza. Granitza looks for the right foot. Kicked away by Ficus. It'll be a corner kick, Sting. You're right, Kenny.
Boy. Hayden Knight was all alone, and the sad thing right there is Granitza took his man into Knight.
Yeah.
Carl did not realize that Knight was there, and Carl made a run to the inside. Then when Knight got that pass, he would have been able to walk in unattended.
Granitza with the corner kick now. He'll take it with the left foot. That ball will probably bend away from the net. Outswinger, there it is. And it is headed away by Sweeney. But Simonson tried to go to Sinino, but the pass was short. And now Hewson boots that ball to the near side. Knight is there. Lopez on him. Lopez already has picked up a yellow card. They try to go to Rojas. Ball kicked away. Last touch by Ficus, I believe. Throw in Sting. Rojas to Marhetic. One touch to Granitza. Knocked away by Boyce to Jungle. Segota tries a backfield. Nobody there, however, but Manny Rojas again. Johnny on the spot. Long run for Sinino. He is hammered at the top of the box. Referee says no call. Granitza asks.
Referee had no way to spot that. Vince Marr is not a big man. And there were at least 5 players in between Sinino getting hammered and the referee. So the referee obviously did not have to deal with that.
Sweeney is in trouble. Sinino's all over him. He comes back to the goalkeeper. Less than 36 minutes to go in the ball game. 2-1. All the scoring done in the first half. Segota and Jungle, the big guns for Golden Bay, sandwiched around a penalty kick by Karl-Heinz Granitza. Hewson hammers it back upfield, but Michal Carey is there, puts it into Jungle. Golden Bay controlling the tempo at this point. They go to Ficus. And now Lopez. Lopez goes down. Hewson with it. Davey has really come to life. And now Elvis Comrie, 1-on-1 with Sweeney. To McGauley, tries to go to Comrie. That didn't work out. Back to the basics, boys. Here comes Segota. Lopez. Jungle. Jungle is not playing forward, Kenny. Jungle is playing a midfield spot, kind of controlling things. I've never seen Jungle play that role before.
Of course, there is not all the room in the world. Jungle will withdraw himself into the midfield for a while, and then he'll go and attack in a deep position. He changes style.
Here comes Calvillo
during the game.
And we're going to get a
yellow card against Hayden Knight, but they really hurt Golden Bay right there, taking the advantage away.
Calvillo can't understand why they stopped play.
And the referee decided right then, he's seen enough aggressiveness out of Hayden Knight, he decided right then that he's going to put an end to it.
2-1 Golden Bay leads.
Don't forget this Friday night on Sports Vision, Pennant Chase will be at 7 o'clock, and immediately following that will be the White Sox and the Milwaukee Brewers live from Comiskey Park.
Sox would like to maintain that win streak they have over the Brewers. They're only a game and a half out now of the lead as Carey, and it hits Rudy Glenn and goes off over the end line. It'll be a corner kick. For those of us watching soccer for the first time, there's Rudy Glenn down on the ground. If the offensive team touches it before it goes over the end line, it's a goal kick. If the defense does, it's a corner kick, and we're going to be back after these words. They're still working on fallen Sting defender Rudy Glenn.
And I'm afraid Rudy came down very badly on that right ankle and turned it. I think he'll be able to continue, but he's going to be hurting later on. Chicago already lost one defender tonight, Victor Gadelia. This is a ball Ed Gettemeyer should have been able to come out of the net and punch away. It would have been an easy run for him. Rudy goes up, watch as he comes down. And there you can see that right ankle got turned in.
Yeah.
But Rudy up and ready to go.
There's a low cross on the corner, and a shot misses wide by Alonso.
I got a feeling that after this game ends, that ankle's going to be very, very sore.
I think you're probably right. It's going to balloon up there. They could probably pack that with a lot of ice. 34 and a half minutes to go in the game. Sting looking for the equalizer. They had to come back once. That tie only lasted a little over a minute. Now Comrie to Huson. Davey Huson, cross midfield. To Hayden Knight. In the attack zone with Marhetic. Here comes Pato, 1-on-1 with Calvillo. He goes inside to Comrie, but the goalkeeper gets over. That almost worked. Boy, that was close.
Boy, that came close. The defense came up to try and play Comrie offside, but Elvis was onside. It's too bad he couldn't run a little bit steeper and get that one, but had he done it, I believe he would have been offside.
And here comes Segota. Segota's got a breakaway. He's inside, and he scores. 3-1 Golden Bay. Segota's second.
Boy, that never should have happened. Alonso won the header. Two Sting defenders got caught in the line, and Segota left onside. I believe they were trying to play him offside. Beautifully taken shot, though. He angles in straight at the goal from here. And hits it very hard with the right foot, I believe, off the far post and in.
3-1. The Sting really has their work cut out for him now. In the first game between these two and Golden Bay, Sting won at 3-2. Then beat Golden Bay 4-2, but now it's Golden Bay putting it to the Sting. The Sting had a 2-game win streak going in. Golden Bay a 3-game losing streak. So a desperate Golden Bay club totally outplaying the Sting. Here comes Cedinho. Back to Comrie. Comrie to nobody, and it's grabbed by Bill Irwin.
We may get a chance to see on the replay a little bit later that last goal. Segota very, very close to being in an offside position. And he might have been, but linesmen, and I think properly so, are told that they have to be sure the man is offside.
Well, Kenny, actually, wasn't that all started when Simonton misheaded it instead of it going forward?
Well, Alonso won that ball. That's why Simonton, it looked like Simonton misheaded. Alonso just beat him in the air and touched the ball on. I'm sure Ricardo will get an assist.
All right, Golden Bay now. They will protect that lead. They're not going to take any wild chances here. You can expect to see 9 Golden Bay players and the earthquake start of the midfield.
Hey, everybody push up!
And now Calvillo is Rudy, his coach, Sting coach Willie Royce screaming at the players. They're just so listless, no aggressiveness. Rojas with it. To Comrie, knocked away. Glenn hustles. Lays it out to Cedinho. He comes in on Catacolitis. Over to Comrie. 1-1 with Sweeney. There's the cross. They look for Granita. Header out in front. Shot. Just misses wide.
Good chance for Chicago. It's amazing how Manny Rojas could get up so that. Right there you see it again, and I believe you're right, Howard.
Yeah, because
Simonton did mishead that. And,
that's where there was no onside?
I believe he was onside. No, when Alonso headed the ball, though. Simonton misheaded it.
You're right.
And then Alonso touched it on to Zagoda.
You're right.
But I believe Zagoda was onside, and the Sting defenders there taking a chance. You should never get caught that flat.
Heading forward to Hayden Knight. Knight is pushed down by Alonso. Sting's ball. Glenn puts it in play. 3-1 now with 31-17 to go in the ball game. Sting has come close moments earlier. Rojas just missed a header. Here's Symington. Tries to run through a double team. Leaves it for Marhetic. Clavijo just follows Pato wherever he goes, just like a shadow. Here comes Pato. He's lost his shadow. But it's taken by Jungle. They're coming 3-on-3 now. Jungle's coming in. Jungle slips and falls down. Lopez picks up the slack. The Sting team caught upfield. Lopez to Clavijo. He tries to come into Ficus. Ficus has room. Over the bar. Boy, wouldn't Charlie have loved that one? A sweet little bit.
That was a great pass there by Clavijo. Charlie snuck up the middle. Made a very smart run. He didn't show himself too early, and then it turned into a 2-on-1 situation with Hayden Knight. And Knight went to Alonso. Charlie hit the shot, and Charlie can certainly score from that distance.
All right, we have 38-23 to go. Still plenty of time. I don't even know if that clock is right. 3-1, Golden Bay leads as Rojas to Gunitsa, knocked away. Simonton is there. He brings it to Hayden Knight again. They go to Rojas. Rojas inside. He's got Marhetic coming. Marhetic is dumped. And what do we get?
One of these fouls that could have gone either way. I think the referee made the right call. Clavijo or Marhetic. And although the last pass came off of Chicago, the referee deemed it was a 50-50 ball, and the Clavijo had just as much right to it as Marhetic.
Rahel Carey with it down. He's driving it forward. It's over Davey Husson's head. Here comes Zagoda from the other side. Bronco Zagoda. He beats Husson. Zagoda's in the box. Glenn is on him. He lays it back. Here comes Jungle. Jungle on the far side. Try to give it back to him. Rudy Bunn stopped it. Sting needs goals. Less than 30 minutes to go now. I knew that clock was wrong. They're having trouble with that clock. 29-18, 29-17.
Hayden Knight down on the field appears to be injured. Chicago will attack with 10 players.
Bobby Meshbach warming up on the sidelines for the Sting as Pato Marhetic gets it. Knight is down. Eddie Gettemeyer talking to Knight right at the top of the box. Zunino has it. He's got a little bit of room. He comes in on Catacolitis to Granitsa. Granitsa tries to go inside, knocked away, and let's see how they call it. It'll be a corner kick Sting.
I mean, I can't believe that Zunino was not deemed offside.
Jerry Carter, Sting trainer on the field.
I'm not sure. Did the referee call a corner kick? He stopped play right now because of injury tonight.
He called it.
Pato standing down there in the corner, but the referee about 85 yards away, and until he gets back upfield. Chicago, as you mentioned, Bobby Meshbach warming up. Golden Bay has a player warming up as well, Leonardo Cuellar.
Yeah, he's a good ball control man.
This is a great situation for a player like Cuellar when you're winning a game by 2 goals and don't need any more.
And with the player down, we're going to be back.
I guess we're going to keep it here, though. Hayden Knight, incidentally, down on the far side, it's some sort of muscle injury, probably a leg cramp, judging from the way Jerry Carter is working on it.
Hayden is being helped off the field. And I got to get the glasses down. I think he's being helped off the field by Victor Cadelia, who came up lame at the end of the first half. Is it Cadelia? Let's see. No, it's Victor Noguera. Noguera in a rain suit.
We've got your Victor's a little messed up.
That's right. Well, right now we are 2 goals away or 3 goals away from being.
It's been a rough night for the Chicago defense. Cadelia came off lame. Hayden Knight now has come off lame, and Rudy Glenn is playing with a right ankle that I'm sure is going to hurt him badly after the game.
Well, Sting has one healthy defender. Did not suit it up tonight. That's Chris Kenny. He just may be making the trip. Sting plays in Vancouver Sunday night. You can hear it on WIND radio. Then in Tulsa, right here on Sports Vision at 8 o'clock on Thursday the 16th. Then back here to what is not such friendly confines, especially tonight, Comiskey Park, Wednesday the 22nd to take on Toronto. All right, Sting, 29 minutes to go from the ball game. They can do it. There's the cross in the air and is headed away by Alonso. Marhetic the trap on the far side. Marhetic still got it. Marhetic is crossing again. A shot over the bar. Bobby Meshbach had the far corner of the net and went over the bar.
Boy, oh boy, that was a great chance for Chicago. I got to think that he lost sight of this ball. It came off the goalkeeper's hands and Sanino jumped up into the air. All he had to do was tap this in. He did not need to hit this ball. I watched Sanino right there, and I think he screened Meshbach's sight. But Bobby certainly didn't have to hit that ball hard to put it in the back of the net. Incidentally, Pat McGauley being playing now in a defensive position. Simonton and McGauley, who started the game as midfielders, now have to come back as Chicago's lost 2 defenders to injury.
Well, the Sting doesn't care. Golden Bay gets 20 goals or 50 goals or whatever. The Sting has to get this game tied. They're going to be opening things up really coming now. They've got Comrie, not a McGauley. He loses it. And Charlie Ficus coming to Alonso. Back to Ficus. Good one touch. Here comes Charlie. Charlie is beating McGauley. Now he slows things down looking for a little help. The cross hits McGauley, and it's going over the end line corner kick. As we said, last touch by the defense.
That ball almost got snuck into the near net. Near side of the goal right there. So take a look at Robert Meshbach, who could have scored after being in the game for just 3 seconds had he stuck that one away. But right there, the ball deflected off McGauley. Ficus' attempted cross, and he just saw it hit just a few inches away from the post. That Gedemeier had not gotten over to that side of the net.
All right, Charlie Ficus with the corner kick. Headed away, taken right back. It skips away from Sweeney. He goes to Michael Carey. Look at that Sanino. Never stops running. Bobby Meshbach out of Gordon Tech and Indiana University has tremendous speed. He has great skill. If there's one rap on Bobby Meshbach is the fact he just can't seem to score. He gets in great positions, has many, many excellent chances, can't score. Sting can't get control of the ball as a shot by Lopez misses wide. I've never seen so much room given guys to take shots. The
all night long, Golden Bay been just lobbing high balls into the Sting box. And constantly the Golden Bay players have been able to bring it down. I mean, they haven't even had to jump up and head the ball.
You're right.
Just a very, very passive Sting defense.
All right, Elvis Comrie now coming. He goes to Karl-Heinz Kunitsa. Back to McGauley. McGauley moving. He's got Comrie with him on the near side. He goes to Elvis Comrie. 1-1 with Sweeney. Comrie walking it in. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's crossing. No, the ball is kicked away. Simonton gives it to Sanino. Here comes Sanino. Goes to Granitza. Granitza to Marhetic. Marhetic's inside. A shot. Score! Lionel Marhetic has brought the Sting to within 1 with 25:50 to go in the ball game. The Sting trails 3-2.
Karl-Heinz Granitza's 99th career assist, and a big one it was. The ball played from inside, I believe, by Simonton, who will also get an assist. Granitza just lets it carry him off his body. That is Sanino that'll get the assist. Granitza chest taps it to Marhetic, and he hits the shot just in time. He was clipped after he hit it a little bit by Jungle, but Jungle got over there too late. Pato limping a little bit, but Chicago's back in the game. Sanino and Granitza will get the assist. Granitza, the beautiful chest trap. Good understanding between him and
a steal by Sanino. Sanino is on a breakaway. He's inside. Out in front, a shot. Unbelievable. The goalkeeper got back and stopped it. Oh, I thought this game was tied.
That would have broken the Golden Bay club. Sanino a little bit soft on the pass right there. If Chicago scored, they would have tied it up at 3, and it wouldn't have been long before the score was 6 or 7-3. Golden Bay would have just dropped ahead, but as it is now, they got to keep fighting. They still have to lead.
Marhetic fighting like an enraged tiger, and he and Clavijo get blocked up, and the referee Morrow steps in between. These guys, their rivalry goes back several seasons. Billy Roy steps in.
And I tell you, for once it was Clavijo really that started all the action. A lot of fouling going on both ways. Somebody has to get in front of Pato besides the referee. One of his teammates needs to grab him right here.
We can't afford to have Marhetic be thrown out of the game.
I think Pato wants to get over there and maybe shake hands and let it all be forgotten, but it's not going to be that simple.
Yellow card for Marhetic.
Marhetic won the ball there. Clavijo pushing. No question he's pushing there. Comes over the top. And it just turned into a wrestling match. Battle grabbing the hair right there, but I don't think either of them really wanted to fight.
And now they've let the two of them. Look at that. They've let the two of them off by themselves, and they almost got into it again. They had to bump each other and then walk away.
I think they were just. I think they were just shaking hands and making up a little bit there, but you know how long that'll last.
Like I said,
the
Kenny,
foul was
you're
called
Mr.
against
Nice.
Marhetic. Marhetic's goal coming at the 64-27 mark.
I wonder if we could see again that breakaway by Zunino that almost had this game tied. How Irwin was able to recover, I don't know, because he was guarding.
Well, he just read it. Actually, Zunino could have stuffed it in the near side of the net.
All right, here comes Jungle. Jungle's inside. He's got a man loose. Oh, almost a disastrous mistake. No communication between Glenn and Gedemar. Sting trailing by a goal with 24-16 to go. Granitza with it now. Boyce on him. He goes.
Boyce chasing Granitza all over the field.
Magali trying to outrun Alonso, and he does. Here goes Magali. He's got Michel Carey to beat. He goes forward. A shot misses wide, but he was offside. The offside line. The linesman on the far side called the offside immediately. And I think it was a good call.
What a tremendous run, though, again by Pat Magali. He realized that Boyce, the central defender for Golden Bay, had just chased Granitza all the way into Carl's own penalty box, so they had to leave some space behind the defense. He made a tremendous run, an excellent pass. Unfortunately, Comrie a little bit offside. He had missed the shot anyways, but what a great run there by Magali.
A little bit offside. That was, by the way, that was Pato Marhetic's sixth goal of the year.
Hold on, Bob.
Sting fighting. They're only a goal down. They're still got a long way to go, folks. Don't go away. Ficus. And ball goes out. It'll go. The linesman says one way. The referee accedes to the linesman. Ficus not happy. Gives it to Pat Magali. Magali looks for an open man. He goes to Zunino. This Zunino never stops. He's up and down the field. Always back to help you. Here comes Zunino. He goes to mesh back. It's a race. And the keeper gets there first.
Very smart pass by Zunino. Just missed connections. But the defender eyeing the movement on the far side of the field.
Marhetic again.
Back alone.
Tries to go inside. He's got mesh back offside. Bobby says that he was pushed offside by Michal Carey. Carey is an experienced Yugoslavian veteran. And if he did, he got away with it very smartly. Zoe Royce screaming. The Sting has come back with a goal in this half. East side has scored once.
Things have gotten so exciting. I think somehow I got a feeling Granitza's going to get an assist here. Chicago's going to tie it up. And then unfortunately they're going to stop the game to make the awards presentations.
And then we'll
might take the momentum away.
Comrie with the steal. Comrie trying to get by Sweeney. Sweeney spins him around. We'll have a foul on Mike Sweeney. Remember, those Sting summer soccer camps are winding up next week in Northbrook and in Lamont. Week-long, daytime, inexpensive camps for your boys and girls aged 6 to 16. Run by Willie Roy and a professional crew. Call Frank Crocker tomorrow. 558-KICK, 558-KICK. If you live anywhere near Northbrook and Lamont, you're going to make your, you're going to give your kids a great climax to the summer. Here comes Symington. Sting has used both substitutes. Symington fakes to Marhetic. He walks around Clavijo. Symington now goes in the corner to Magali, trying to stop it. Crossing. No, the ball went over the end line. It'll be a goal kick.
That's a surprising call there. The linesman's flag never came up to signal the ball traveling over the end line, but the referee said he spotted himself. Golden Bay going to make a substitution now. Leonardo Cuellar going to come into the game, and I believe Sweeney will come off.
And with 21:47 on the clock, Sting trailing by 1, we are going to break away for this short timeout. Goal kick by Golden Bay. The ball is headed forward, taken by Segota. What do we have? Got a foul called, and Jungle almost clipped the referee. He was protesting so vehemently. Glenn gives it to Rojas.
As far as Cuellar is concerned, the great Mexican international player has 5 assists. He's appearing in his 14th game. He has started 12 of those games, so he's coming out only for the second time this season as a substitute.
Davey Husine in the far corner. A battle in the corner. That ball, Davey put it too far in front of him because Davey had all the room in the world to walk in that time, and he just laid that ball out. Here's Segota in a race with Glenn. It's no match. Here comes Segota. He looks for Alonso. Now he's got Ficus breaking. Gives it to Charlie. Watch this one. Danger, danger. Segota. Great save. Gedemar.
Golden Bay will be dangerous here on the counterattack because Chicago is playing with 6 forwards They really don't have a midfield. That time, though, they attacked very well. Very good pass on the part of Ficus as he found Zagoda. Ed Gettemeyer really made the save of the game there to keep Chicago within one.
Time continuing to run. The clock again goofy. Shows 28:30. I know it's close to about 20 minutes. There's Leonardo Cuellar. There's Ficus cross. No danger there. Bobby Meshbach runs it down. Oh, boy. Wouldn't you like to have that shot by Bobby back with that open that he went over the bar? No, you can't have it. Here, come on. Sting's going to have to earn this one on their own. Mark Symington moving. Steps around Clavijo again. To Gunitsa. Looks for Comrie. Gives it. No. Nice anticipation by Medvedes. And here comes Zagoda. He's coming. Zagoda's coming. He's in the box. He's tripped. And we're going to get...
They're going to call the penalty kick.
A penalty kick. Davey says contact was made outside the box.
The Sting should protest this right now and ask the referee to ask the linesman where the foul occurred. But you can see Zagoda on the run. He never should have been given that space. The foul occurred outside of the box.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now the linesman on the near side.
The referee has no way of knowing that. He's 50 yards away from the play. The linesman was right on line with that. It's up to the Sting players to ask the referee to talk to the linesman, but I don't know if the referee's going to do that.
Jungle has only missed once in 7 attempts all year.
He's not going to take this one. Alonso's going to take this one.
Well, Alonso has been known to kick him over the bar.
This is an interesting matchup. It was Alonso against Gettemeyer last year when Eddie stopped him and Montreal walked off the field.
This will be Alonso's first attempt at a penalty kick. He's into the ball, and he scores. So it's now 4-2. Golden Bay has upped their lead back to 2 goals. Less than 20 minutes to go in the ball game. Sting will have to kick off and get 2 goals in about 19 and a half minutes.
What a bad break for Chicago, but the defense not playing smart for the Sting. Chicago doing all the attacking, a goal down, but nobody giving coverage, and that's why Zagoda's been able to make these long runs. There was a case there where that should not have been a penalty, as we were able to see on the replay. That foul occurred outside of the box. Of course, the referee is not fortunate enough to have the replay.
But he has a linesman.
And he never asked the linesman. The linesman certainly did not offer to help. But Chicago is 2 goals down as Alonso stuck it away nicely.
All right, here comes Rojas. Still time. Rojas puts it forward. He's got Magali coming in. Magali looks for the cross at the end line. To Patamar Hedek. Clavijo's on him. Out in front, he's got Sanino. Shot deflected. Mesh back. Bobby's still working. To Pato. Give and go. Pato heading for it. And it is hammered over the end line. It'll be a corner kick. Short corner to Symington. Gives it for Marhetic. Marhetic beats Ficus. Pato coming inside. A shot is rejected by Jungle. It'll be a throw-in Sting. 18
Jungle
and a half.
out all over the field. That time Marhetic got in awfully close.
Sanino with it now. They collapse on him. He goes inside of Gunitsa, goes forward. Rojas shot rejected. Another shot hits the post and goes over the sideline. A shot hit the inside of the post, went along the goal mouth and went out. And here comes Zagoda. Zagoda on another breakaway. Zagoda's got room. He misses a good save by Gettemeyer. Gettemeyer makes another sparkling save.
Davey Houston was trampled at midfield by Zagoda. What an exciting game. That looked like something off an indoor soccer game. The shot there taken by Gunitsa, and that shot taken, I believe, by Gunitsa,
yes, I think
we're going to see. Rojas shot deflected, and here comes Carroll with the right foot, beating the goalkeeper, but that shot carrying off the inside of the post.
Heartbreak Hotel.
Trickling wide.
All right, there's a cross, a header, just misses by Jungle. A brilliant, sneaky diving header.
Eddie Gettemeyer, another great save right there. We saw one game this season where Eddie only let in 1 goal, and yet it was a disaster. And he was lucky only to let in 1 goal. He's let in 4 tonight. And yet, if he had not been having one of the best games of his life, Golden Bay would be in double figures.
All right, Ficus gets it from Katakalitis. There's another cross, but an offside is called on Alonso. You know, it's really a shame on that goal by Golden Bay, their 4th goal. Davey Houston hustling hard, really got burned at both ends. He got a pass. He was wide open moving in from the far side, but he put it too far in front of him. and they took it away, and then they came right back down the field.
Anyone will make a bad pass. It's up to your teammates to pick you up, and somebody should have been giving Davey Houston some coverage.
Absolutely.
Right there, Zagota should not be able to run 60 yards unattended in at the goal, but Zagota's just had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
And he certainly will be the player of the game.
I would think so. Here comes Jungle. Jungle now to Zagota. Keeper's out, and he scores. 5-2. Bronco Zagota having an outstanding game tonight.
It is no fluke. Certainly the man has talent, and tonight he has shown it. He scored 3 goals, set up 1 goal, and there again, Rudy Glenn just letting him run by. No coverage given in that Sting defense.
Wouldn't you think,
I'm
Kenny?
sure Franz Matthew watching this game can't wait to get back into the action after what he's seen.
And wouldn't you think that on that, we were talking about that goal when Davey Houston was caught off field, that maybe one of the center backs like Rudy or Mark should have been there to cover?
We've seen it all night long, though, not just on that goal and not just on this goal, but all night long we've seen Chicago's defense in one straight line and Golden Bay having an easy time penetrating it.
Yeah.
That game totally turned around, though, by that penalty kick.
Absolutely.
Chicago putting all the pressure, trailing by only a goal.
Time to
Golden Bay
stop.
getting ready to make their second substitution, I believe. Zagota coming off the field and Igor Vrablich coming in. Vrablich, a young 19-year-old Canadian who just played in the Olympics for the Canadian national team, scored a goal in that 3-1 game against, who was that, Cameroon?
Yeah.
And they are very high on this young man.
Well, for Zagota, a hat trick, and you don't see a lot of hat
It's
tricks in
strange, though,
soccer.
that he comes off the field at this point.
Rojas going forward to Marhetic. Marhetic's on sides, and the keeper grabs it away. Sting has to score quickly. They've got 16 minutes to get 3 goals. And now Vrablich moves it to Alonso, takes a push from Rudy Glenn, but Ficus is there.
Rudy trying to re-win that ball. Rudy's looked terrible here the
Yeah,
last
he's had a
20,
nightmare.
25 minutes, but on his behalf, he hurt his ankle there.
Yes.
We saw in the replay that ankle getting turned around, and I'm sure that's had an effect on his game. Chicago's used both their substitutions, so Rudy's got to stick it out for the remainder of this one.
Meshbach was fouled by Leonardo Cuellar. Free kick for the Sting. 15 and a half minutes to go in the ball game. Sting will be home again on Wednesday night, the 22nd, right here at Comiskey Park to take on Toronto, and that'll be half-price night. Houston's cross. Glenn pops it in the air over the end line. It'll be half-price night. Call the Sting office, 558-KICK, 558-KICK. You got a group of 20 or more, you can still get a discount for the 3 remaining home games, August 22nd against Toronto on Labor Day, Monday in Wrigley Field against Vancouver, and back again Saturday night, September 15th, take on the Cosmos. Remember, if you held tickets to the Sting Cosmo game scheduled for August 4th, that game was delayed till September 15th for the Olympics, and those tickets, of course, will be honored. Now Magali goes to Gettemar, just gets it away from Bruins.
And he's made quite a number of great saves tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if Willie Roy might go back to Victor Nogueira, though, for the next game. Certainly the defenses look bad tonight, but they've also looked very, very unsure of themselves, and to some degree that goes back to the communication between the goalkeeper and the 4 men in front of him.
Sanino to Houston, and Houston just didn't get the pass connection at all. Golden Bay won it.
Howard, it'll be very difficult for Chicago to overcome a 3-goal deficit with just under 15 minutes remaining.
Yeah.
But they would like to get that 3rd goal and get that 3rd bonus point. You never know when that's going to help out.
Vinitsa has 1 assist tonight and a goal. That assist is 99th. 1 more, he'll get the 100th. I'm sure he would love to get it at home before the home folks. More importantly, Carl would like to win this game, but the offense has had some chances. Meshbach missed one that probably should have been made. Carl hit one that hit the inside of the post and never went in. I mean, there have been some chances, but it's the Sting defense that has really let this ball club down tonight. All right, Ficus with it. Of course, let's not lose sight of the fact that if you're just tuning in, the Sting has lost 2 first-unit defenders tonight. Cadelia went out lame at the end of the half, and then Knight got hurt.
Manny Rojas wide open on the far side.
Couldn't get it to him, however.
Couldn't get over there. Clavillo reading the pass well.
Vrablich in the battle. They're blowing a whistle. I'm not sure too.
Dangerous play called, and that is, of course, as we mentioned earlier.
That's right, same play.
No flagrant foul there, but Rudy Glenn down on the ground, and the ball at his feet, and the referee blew his whistle. The protect Rudy, who is in danger. Somebody starts kicking at that ball.
As Alonso slips, Elvis Comrie wins it, moves into the attack zone, gets by one, but again too far. Fortunately, Rojas, Johnny on the spot. At the 35-yard line, leaves it for Marhetic. Steps around one man. Pato controlling. Pato lays it out. He's got Cedinho, top of the box. A shot saved by Irwin. Carl was calling for the ball. Asked for it. Didn't get it. Boyce with it. Upfield he goes to Vrablich. Makes a nice move around Rudy Glenn. Then he slips and falls down. He's got to get used to the bad footing. Simon with it now. 12 and a half minutes to go in the game. The Sting needs 3 to get back in. I want to hear that Roman Sawchuk Sting theme again. Here comes Davey Huson. He moves in on Michael Carey. Huson to the end line. Across, and it's grabbed. Pressure by the Sting, but no cigar. Vrablich drives it forward past Jungle. Eddie Gettemeyer comes out. Pat McGauley to Glenn. Now we're down to the 12-minute mark. Sting trailing 5-2. Manny Rojas. To Glenn, to Pato Marhetic. Clavijo still sticking to him like mustard plaster. To Rojas, tries to go back to Pato, knocked away. Rojas fighting for it, and he gets a foul. Free kick.
Good defensive play there by Charlie Pikus.
Yep.
Charlie has had an extremely strong game for Golden Bay tonight. You may not have heard his name much, but he's played very smart in the midfield for him, and he's been the man in the middle of many of those very potent counterattacks.
All right. Cedinho steals it. There he comes. He's got Gunitz on the near side. Tried to go to Comrie, but it was intercepted by Lopez. Brings it to Jungle. Here comes Golden Bay. They go to Fikes. Alonso drifting on the near side. He's got Jungle off on the far side. Comes instead of Lopez. Now to Jungle. Jungle moves in on Huson. Jungle the master. Out in front. Man in front. Glenn is there. Loses it. A shot and a score. Vrablich with a loose ball. Sting defense is giving quite a critic tonight on how to give a man room to shoot. And there's nothing Willie Roy and Mike Grivich can do. Just stand there and hope for it gets over.
Again, very passive in the back. Golden Bay able to play a nice game of soccer in the back, just pushing the ball around real nice, and the Sting players just fighting themselves for it. Igor Vrablich, 19 years old.
Yep.
It certainly has to be very excited for him to get a goal, but I'm sure this one can't match up. His 4th goal of the season can't match up with the goal he scored this past week in the Olympics for the Canadian national team. They were very unlucky, the Canadian national team. They got beat on penalty kicks there against, who was that against, Brazil?
Yep.
Surrendered their 1-goal lead late in the game, but I heard they played very, very well. The U.S. Olympic team was very unlucky, too.
They put it to Marhetic. Pato coming. Sting looking for that 3rd goal for the bonus. Pato holding. And nothing happens.
I think the lopsided score not really indicative of what went on here tonight, although Golden Bay deserves to win this game, and they certainly outplayed the Sting. Chicago had to fight to get back in the game. Willie Roy made the 2 substitutions, putting in 2 forwards and taking out two defenders as he had to due to the injuries, and that caught up with the Sting, because what you see right now for Chicago are about 7 players leaning towards the Golden Bay net, 3 for Chicago, but Chicago needs to keep fighting. Doesn't matter, as you mentioned, Howard, how many points, more goals Golden Bay scored. They're going to win this game. As far as the Sting's concerned, they can still pick up 1 more point in the standings.
Mesh back to McGauley. Didn't expect it.
Well, he couldn't run any deeper because he would have been offsides.
Kenny, this is far and away the most goals the Sting has allowed in any game. In fact, going into this game, the most they had allowed in any game was 3. That has been doubled tonight by the leading, well, we said at the beginning, this was the highest goal-scoring team, the biggest scoring team in the NASL, and they've certainly proved it tonight. Again, you look at this team and you say, how can they be 4-10? Well, they're going to be 5-10. The Sting's record will drop to 9-8. But let's see if we can get that last bonus goal. You never know when that's going to make the difference between the playoffs or not. 8.5 minutes to go in the ballgame.
Chicago trailing by 4. They lost last year twice by 4 to Tulsa in Tulsa, so Sting wants to get a little revenge down at Skelly Stadium. And that game will be on Sports Vision August 16th. That's next Thursday.
Inside Meshbach, and he scores! Bobby Meshbach finally has broken his personal jinx of not being able to hit the back of the net. Meshbach has given the Sting their third bonus point.
Bobby Meshbach took the pass and hit it hard with the right foot. I'm sure he would have rather had that one he missed earlier back right now, but this is still point in the column. Billy Irwin beat. I started to say our next Sports Vision game August 16th at 8 o'clock. So, of course, you're going to want to watch that one. Charlie Fike is beaten right there by his ex-teammate from the Sting and his ex-teammate from Indiana University. And I believe that's his ex-teammate with the Sparta Junior Club here in Chicago. 7 minutes and 42 seconds left to go. The Sting needs a field goal to tie this game.
6-3. Well, the fans have seen a lot of scoring. It's just coming mostly at the wrong end. Well, Rudy Glenn with it now. Glenn tries to put a run on Brublich. Ball gets knocked out. It'll be a throw-in Sting. Glenn looks. There's nobody. Everyone's just kind of walking, saying, "Hey, Rudy, just throw it wherever you can." They go to Comrie. Comrie's been no factor in this game at all. The super sub but he's not going to be a great star in every game.
I tell you, this Olympic break really did not help the Sting at all. Chicago's playing their best soccer of the season. Really some outstanding stuff. Was unlucky to lose in Minnesota, then won in San Diego where it's difficult to win. It looked excellent beating Golden Bay here by a 4-2 score. And all of a sudden they were given a 2-week hiatus.
Meshbach! He misses wide. Yeah, you're right, Kenny. That couldn't have come at a worse time. 6:50 to go in the game. Sting would like to pull off a miracle finish. From here on in, any goals the Sting scores does not count in these standings unless they are able to get 3 in 6 minutes.
Davey Houston getting an assist on that last goal coming in 81-45. Sanini also picking up his second assist of the game.
Throw in Golden Bay. 6.5 to go in the ball game. 6-3. Sting lost 2 defenders in this game. Here comes Alonzo feeding it to Pikus. Charlie's 1-1 with McGauley. He shoots over the bar. Tonight's game has been brought to you in part by Budweiser, the king of beers and proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And by your local Chicagoland Toyota dealers. They've got it right. And by True Value. The more you've got to do, the more you need True Value hardware stores. They've got what it takes. And by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers. All right, Marhetic walks around Fogg. Here he comes. Otto coming. Goes to Cedinho. He's got Hughes breaking. Cedinho with Grunitza. Carl's got it. Carl moving in. Carl fires. Nice save by Irwin.
Tremendous save by Irwin. That ball was dipping. And if Irwin isn't able to hold on to that, Bobby Meshbach's going to tap it into the net and make it 6-4.
All right, Glenn gathers up the ball. Back he comes steady, Gedemar. Sting refuses to lay down. They've got 5.5 minutes. They have a high-powered offense. They've had chances. Here comes Davey. Not trying to say that they're really in the game, but they're sure not going to quit. Here comes Davey. Davey's crossing. Grunitza can't get there. Ball top of the box. Marhetic in the double team.
That's the way things have gone. He should have left that ball for Rojas.
And now Lopez driving out of field to Steve Jungle. Jungle coming. McGauley is there. Jungle. Oh, no, good move by McGauley. But Jungle has it back. Jungle out in front. They've got Alonzo offside.
That's the trouble with Ricky. Sometimes he just does a little ball watching. This game's turned into a nice scrimmage. Nobody running 3 against 1, and then 2 defenders coming back to make it 3 against 3, but nobody even thinking of joining into that mess. Good job by Pat McGauley. I'm sorry, Howard.
That's okay.
Good job by Pat McGauley, though, who came back and really zoned off Jungle and the other 2 attackers so that he was able to get some help.
Sting was... All right, here's Chicago on the back. Grunitza with the left foot. Now the right foot. He bends it, and he just misses wide. 4:22 to go as the Sting keeps hammering on the Golden Bay goal. The Sting was listless in the first 20 or 25 minutes, but there's nothing listless about this second half. It's been end-to-end action, and even though Chicago is getting thonked out here 6-3, 9 goals, is I think the fans, to a certain degree, are enjoying it, Kenny. This game has been fun to a degree. I mean, when you get 9 goals in a ball game, and your side continues to attack and comes close, that's what exciting, wide-open soccer is about. And that's why teams like Chicago and Golden Bay and New York are great teams to watch, as opposed to some of the other teams, perhaps. And on Wednesday night, the 22nd, Chicago will have another home game and a chance to show the home fans they can put it all together again when they take on Toronto right here at Comiskey Park. We have a player down, George Katakalidis.
George Katakalidis, no question, he's got a leg cramp. As you could see when they pull that toe back like that, that is usually the indication that the leg is cramping up.
Earthquakes can't substitute. They've already used their 2.
You know, it's been a good night for Golden Bay coach Don Popovich as well. Popovich, who last game here in Chicago walked off the field with 3 minutes remaining, has come back 2 weeks later to pull in a victory. And to tell you how things can work out for you when things are going good, things are going good. He took out a player tonight that scored 3 goals, Zagota, and could have had another 5 or 6. Zagota having the game of his life. Popovich takes him out. I'm sure when they ask him why he took him out, he's going to tell you, because I wanted to put Igor Vrablich in to score a goal. And Igor Vrablich came in for a man who had scored 3 and scored 1 himself.
And there's Manny Rojas. Juninho. He went behind Eschbach. Here comes Vrablich. Lays it out for Ricky. Alonso keeps it in. Nice work by Alonso. Tries to get around Glenn. Gets around Glenn. Glenn holds him. Puts it over to Vrablich. Vrablich has room. Danger, danger, danger. Oh, the cross back to Pikus. Charlie's trying to push it right back to Ricky. It doesn't work, and here comes Rudy Glenn. Glenn up to Manny Rojas. 3.5 minutes to go in the game. The Sting has to score at a goal-a-minute clip to get back in it. Chicago trailing 6-3. It was a 2-1 tight ball game in the end of the first half. Really opened up here in the second. Here comes Symington. He's got room. Symington walking right to the edge of the box. Off to the far side he goes to nobody. And the ball is hammered away back to Rudy Glenn. He sees Comrie. Comrie having trouble, can't trap it.
Unlike the last time these 2 teams played, Elvis Comrie has not been a factor at all.
No. Well, there was some talk by certain members of the media that how can you not start Elvis? And, you know, Roy said he's been a great substitute, but he's got to be able to do it all to be able to start, and we can see that maybe he's not ready yet. Clavijo on the near sideline. There's been no problems with Clavijo and Marhetic ever since that altercation. 2:41 to go. It's Golden Bay playing a little team play. And now Barney Boyce with Gunitz on him. Off to Katakalidis. He comes back to Carey. Carey comes back to the goalkeeper now. You could possibly see that yellow card infraction, but they're not going to do that. They go to Charlie. Mike is upfield. He goes. Vrablich. Sting can't get the ball. I mean, that isn't even nice. Leonardo Cuellar. That's Barney Boyce. Here comes Lopez. Lopez inside to Jungle. Jungle firing, knocked away by Magali, and Rojas comes out. 2 minutes to go in the game. Talk about your miracle finishes. Here comes Marhetic. Marhetic driving it to Comrie. He's on sides. He's trying to run it down. Picked up by Boyce. Comrie's crossing to Cedinho. Cedinho out in front. Marhetic dummies it, and it's kicked away by Carey. Huson's there. To Symington.
That ball never should have been played. Cedinho didn't have a chance to get back on side.
No. Well,
that's the way things have gone tonight for the Sting. 1.5 minutes remaining.
This loss will drop the Sting's record to 9-8, up their point total to 84. They got the bonus point for every goal scored. Golden Bay, looking for a 9-point game and getting it, is now 57 points on the season, and they have games in hand. They've only played, this is the Sting's 17th, this is only Golden Bay's 15th. So Golden Bay, looking to pass San Diego, could do it with another 9-point game that they have in hand. So don't count this Golden Bay team out by any means. Here comes Comrie. Minute to go in the game. Comrie goes to Gunitza. Gunitza out to Rojas. Keeper's out. And Irwin grabs it. Flings it upfield to Steve Jungle. Jungle has a goal tonight. 45 seconds to go in a 6-3 Golden Bay ball game. Gold puts it right out in front to Ricky. A shot smothered by Symington. Lonzo almost split the Sting defense.
Jungle certainly has created many scoring opportunities for his teammates tonight.
Great player. And when you see him playing indoor, I mean, he's worth the price of admission. Just a wonderful player.
People don't realize, because Jungle's statistics are so very, very loud, people don't realize what an unselfish player he is and what a good team player he can be.
Absolutely. All right, here comes Barney Boyce. He goes to Broblich. Back to Ian Artic. No, Cuellar for Katakalitis. Nice save by Gedemar. That should be the last big play of the game. 3 seconds left. Now 2, now 1, now no time, and there it is. This ball game has come to an end, and the Sting got thrashed tonight. So they came back off the Olympic break, and they had their heads handed to them. Willie Roy, well, what can you do? There's not much you can say, not much you can do. It was just all Golden Bay. 6-3, the Earthquakes win it. We're going to be back after these words.